Hello everybody and welcome back to Matt Got on YouTube, and today we will be doing more of a serious video, so if you're not really interested in that then I guess click off, but this is more of a serious thing. We'll be talking about, my religious stance. We'll be talking about what I'm gonna do after high school, so like in the next year, because I have to go back a year. And places I moved to, We'll probably start with that because that's more lighter. So, I would move, I would move to probably Japan, and have a life there because I just love the culture. I like the food. I like, I like to do animes too, and that's part of the culture of mangas and stuff like that. I collect those types of things, so I would definitely move there. Sorry if you hear a cat or scratching, that's because I record at night, and so it's kind of hard because that's when he likes to really try to fuck it up for me. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted watching him because you also might hear the litter box because he's been going nuts in there. But hold on, he might knock you all over. No, okay, he decided mercy is the way to go. What we're talking about? Oh yeah, I would move to Japan and stuff like that. I feel like if I were to leave, and go somewhere, like after I'm done and I'm an adult, probably there, but I would have to look up like rules and stuff because I wouldn't want to just go there and then be screwed more. This might be a little edited, I don't know, but yeah, that's a separate thought. Hold on. No. Sorry, I'm watching him to make sure. So it's probably gonna be edited out. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it in. But what was I talking about? He just ruined my whole train of thought. Oh yeah, Japan and stuff like that. Probably move there. And I'm considering big life decisions myself, so we're gonna move on a little bit because this is what we're gonna talk about now. Because there ain't really nothing else to say about moving to Japan if I could, but maybe England. I feel like that would be nice, but who knows? Plans after school. Well, first of all, if you're gonna finish school and graduate this year, good, but what are you gonna do? Tell me what you think you're gonna do after school, and maybe are you gonna go to college? Are you gonna get a job? If so, what? Or are you gonna continue being a content creator like I am trying to be? I think after school this has been a heavy decision because I don't have my license, so I'm not confident in me being able to drive or me being on the road, and that's fine because honestly I can take my time with that thing. I feel like I don't have to figure everything out right now. Hell, I might not figure out my shit for years, but I have to get a government ID specifically because I have to vote and do all that fun stuff, and that's coming up, I think, and that's what my mom's gonna help me do because I need to get my picture, and then I think everything else is just going to be filled out. But after school for me, I would say I'm thinking about doing psychology, anything with therapist work. I've looked into if it was respectable enough to be on an online school and do it from home instead of venturing out, because I feel like that's stressful to me. I'm highly introverted in myself, and I feel like it's just perfect for me to go into therapy. I don't want to have to, assign medicines or anything or go, but I'm pretty sure it's a four-year college. So I have to think about that, because not only do I have to think about, sorry, that's the litter box. Not only do I have to think about the future and where that will take me, but I also have to think about the debt that comes into it, and I have to think about if this is something I actually want to do, or if this is just something I'm jumping into and being like, fuck it, head on. But I don't want to do that and I'm be unhappy. Sorry, it's just making a lot of noise. What did you do to that thing? Okay, I'm trying to make it light, I mean, honestly, I don't know what the fuck he just did, but, that's something I'm considering. But I also really am into my book. It's on Wattpad. Here, hold on. Maybe if I edit it, it'll be right here. But I want to publish that and have a book. I'm posting it on Wattpad and then hopefully turning it into a real book that can go into libraries and stuff. Though stuff is mostly digital nowadays. So I'm thinking about that too. Not to mention, I do content creating, so, it's a very tough situation for me to be in, specifically because I, have wanted to do psychology since the one course I took, but also I don't want to just be like, that's what I want to do. And, I have a fixation, so, that's like the show Hannibal, which I'm pretty sure came on Netflix and I'll have to watch during autumn. Specifically because that seems more fit. But, I feel like that's also why I want to go into therapy work. Because at first I was like, I want to be a therapist because of this, and this inspires me. But then I took a psychology course and she inspired me to do it. So it's a lot to think about realistically. It's really heavy because, I have a fear of failing and falling off the edge, so it prevents me from doing stuff in life. But at the same time, I know my limits because I know the decisions that have to be made, and I'm 18 years old now, so I have to make decisions in what goes with me in my life and my schedule and what I'm setting up. I think, it's just rough because I don't know what path I want to take and what I want to consider, or if I want to do this, I want to do this. I don't know. And, I don't have a job minus this, which I consider a job, but I don't have income coming in. I honestly don't know what I want to do. I feel like I talk a lot on here, my emotions, because I feel like that's the best thing to do, because if we're honest, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and that's fine. I feel like if I take my time and set up the steps, I'll know. But for now, that's just kind of, it. I don't really know what I want to do. I just don't. And I feel like a lot of people sorry, oh my god. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because some people I know don't even know what they want to do. And it's like, I don't have to know, but like, I want to know. Like, I don't know. Just feel like that's, the big thing right now is, what do I do? What do I know? And what should I do? And what should I know? But now we go on to religious standpoint. I don't talk about this a lot at all because I feel like I don't know. I've done research, I've done countless things, but nothing seems to fit in that box I want. And, I believe in aliens, but I don't, I believe in a lot of things, so it's hard for me to be like, I believe in aliens, and that's what I am. But I believe in ghosts, I believe in a lot of things, it's just hard for me. I've dipped, my feet into the Satanism pool. That's known for very little people. They don't really know that. But I feel like nothing ever fits me. I feel like Satan, I believe people are the gods, right? I have certain standpoints on that. I feel like people can be, demons and be that thing and be the hell part of the world, but then you can meet the good people, such as myself, and those are the angels in life because they keep you going. However, I do not believe that they are angels or demons at all. They're just people, but they both have power to lift one up or lower one's self-esteem. That's my religious standpoint. I feel like Satanism fits in the box because I believe in a lot of things and even little personal things that I won't say on here. Even like with sexuality and stuff like that, it's that box I put myself into. I believe Jesus walked the earth, right? But I also don't know that I believe he, came back. But that's an extraordinarily big thing because I've been trying to figure that out as well. And I just feel like that's not use. I don't have to put myself, I put myself in this box because I feel like when people ask me my religion, well, what am I supposed to say? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I kind of am like, well, I believe people are the gods, and that's my religious standpoint. So Satanism probably works a little bit more, but I'm not, I feel like that's a big myth that, like, they're witches, they sacrifice babies, this and that, and that's just not true. We're just normal people, like Christians, reading the Bible or whatever and doing whatever. So I feel like that is where I stand religiously. I won't ever talk about politics on here. I will only talk about this religious thing probably a couple times in my life on here. I don't feel religion or politics matter on here, and it really shouldn't. Unless that's what you're looking for, then this is the wrong channel because I do not talk about politics ever. I do not talk about, this isn't like my first time talking about religion, I believe, so, however, I try not to be so morbid in life. I feel like it's already a dark place sometimes where you're living, and I don't want to always think about those things. I don't always want to talk about religion or politics or fucking debate about if the sky is blue. I just want to enjoy life and make content and whatever. But I feel like serious videos need to happen because that's just life. I can't stop that from happening. I can't stop myself from having, questions all the time. And, with me having OCD, that can be a problem. Like, you question too much when you could just be sitting at home watching a TV show. But these things can be, extraordinarily hard for even someone like me. Because not only am I OCD, I'm a super introvert and don't like to talk to people often. I don't fear the outside world. I just don't like to talk to people because I feel like every time I open my mouth or be honest, well, that goes out the window. And I'm not saying that's with all my friends or whatever the case may be. I just don't feel, I don't know. I feel like that's just, I don't want to, I like to go outside and I like to go on car rides and I like to do this and I like to do that. So I go door dashing with my mom. However, I don't particularly like some people around here, and considering the area, I don't, I'm not from here. We've lived here for 5 years, but I'm from Harrisburg. So, like, much different area, I feel like, and really like, not a culture shock because I knew these places existed. I'm not saying it's bad, no, but views here are a little bit different than I was used to back in Harrisburg, and so, it's not a culture shock, it's just like, wow, or maybe it is, I don't know, but it's like, wow. The fuck, like, but the next thing, though, I, want to talk about is, like, growing up. I feel like they don't tell you this, and it's extremely rough, and it's extremely hard. Hold on, sorry, I have to move. But, like, when you get older, it's like, okay, when you're first teenagers, everyone, like, wants to be each other's friends. But then you got people with mental issues, which nothing's wrong with that. That can be fixed, but the people who have, like, mental issues that won't go forward. They have the shit parents, they're doing alcohol and drugs, they're, letting themselves fail in life, which wouldn't be a problem. But once I hit 15, 16, around that area, I realized I did not want any of that. 15, because I remember being like, I'm just going to be single for a while. And so I did, which was a great decision. I'm single now, but it was a great decision for me to make because why in the hell am I putting emotional baggage on me when they're not even worth my time at this moment? Oh, sorry. But I feel like what they don't tell you about your friends is that when you get older, they stop talking to you because they're not interested in what you are. Maybe that's not the case for everyone, but I feel like because I went through my DMs and everyone I talk to now, it was like a slow dwindling number. And I'm like, you haven't talked to me in 3 years, but you can tell me download Cash App, so I get a $5 like thing. And it really like mind shocked me when I did it because I cleared out all social medias, and it was rough and it was hard for me because I didn't know that happened. And I could say before, I'm popular, everyone knows my name, which they still would, because you either had a good or a bad experience with me, just because of whatever. The good, okay. But the bad usually was someone else with mental issues that couldn't figure it out for themselves, and that's fine. But it's just rough. Growing up and realizing that, you know, people won't talk to you in 3 years but will ask for money. So, and you know, that's crazy because one time someone asked me for $200 and I only knew them for like 3 days. But yeah, that's probably all we're gonna talk about. I know it's a little heavy, but honestly, I feel like as much as I don't want to be morbid and I don't want to look at these things, I don't want to see these things, I don't want to live that life, it has to be talked about eventually. Because the reality of the situation is everyone is going to look around you and be like, what do you stand for? And, you know, you could say it's a Hamilton reference. It isn't, but I just thought about it in my head, like, that could be taken that way, but even then, that's pretty heavy. Because what do you stand for and what do you fall for? You can't just let the world not know and then be like, well, this and that. Well, you don't, you know. But I think, you know, these are, I won't ever talk about politics on here though, so don't even ask. Don't ask for a video, don't ask for questions, don't ask for this, don't ask for that, because I don't like to talk about politics because that's the most morbid thing to me. like darkness is in that for me, so rather it's picking out a judge or a councilman, that's just a dark thing for me because I try not to think about it, but I have to. But I hope you guys liked this video and could relate. I know it's a little dark, but you know, like I said, we gotta talk about these things eventually. But I hope you guys had a good day, night, or whatever. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I would love, you know, like, to see more of you guys comment. Obviously though, let's be real, if you're gonna be, I feel like the standard really should be, if you're gonna be a content creator, because this is a side note, sorry, it's a side note, but you should probably follow small creators. I do it all the time because I sat there at some point when I was younger and was like, well, but I would want these people to follow me, but I'm not having their back. And so just remember that when you're like, you don't have to follow me, but make sure you do that because it shows people I can do this and I am capable. But I hope you guys have a nice day and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.